wanted to ask you about this. All these reports about 300 sequel and.
Mm-hmm. I'll tell you. Well, I'll tell you. So right now, I guess the way it's going is that basically, I think for me, the thing that I'm trying to do is duplicate, in some ways, the process of making 300 originally, in the sense that I really don't want Frank to write the graphic novel thinking about it like it's going to be a movie. You know, I want him to just make a piece of art the way he does, without any. And I told him this. I said, listen, you know, because there's this whole thing about like, oh, you know, are you interested in like, you know, talking to Frank about what I thought should be in the movie? And I was like, in the graphic novel, I was like, no, that doesn't make any sense at all. It's like backwards. I go, if he should write a graphic novel, then I'll write a movie, and then we'll make a movie. But let's not like put the cart before the horse, as I say. So yeah, so right now he's writing a graphic novel, and we're waiting to see what he does.
And it'll sort of pick up from the end of 300, or
he's crazier than that. You know, that's not how it be. I've seen a little teeny bit of it, and it's not. I'm like, okay, wow. It kind of, yeah. It kind of cool. It's cool. It's smart. He did a smart thing.
I was curious.
That TV just
the TV's coming on. It's a ghost TV.
Ghost TV.
Somebody's sitting on the remote.
Nope. I think we're about to see The Ring going on here.
That's awesome, right?
Poltergeist again. Yeah.
Ring, ring. Hello. Ah.
I got a chance to see the new cut and loved it, and especially the Hollis Mason scene, because God, that's just so right on. I'm curious. You know, there's always been this controversy with Alan Moore about not liking movies. Do you know, if by any chance, if he's seen the film or what his reaction was?
I don't know that he has, or honestly, I don't. I try not to make any. You know, my standard response is that I just, you know, I can't speculate on what Alan thinks or does, so I try not to, because you know, it just make him mad.
And out of all those scenes that were finally put back into the film, which was the hardest one for you to cut initially?
Well, it's funny because, you know, I really don't look at the director's cut like it's not really deleted scenes, because it kind of existed that way.
Right.
I mean, it's really a case, and I think it is a rare case where a movie truly just was not. I finished the cut and I'm like, this is the movie. Okay, it's 3 hours and whatever it is long, but this is the movie. And it's just not practical in the marketplace. You know, they're just like, there's no. I mean, for a second, I had this illusion that was going to be the movie. I was like, this is it. What? And they're like, Zach, you can't. Plays once a day, or you know, like
was there ever a thought of a two-parter or something?
Yeah, I got pressed a little bit to cut it in half and Kill Bill it, but I just it had no ending in the middle.
But that would mean it would never have a special edition DVD, right?
There's that. But it would have been also just like, I think it would have, a lot of people would have been like, because if there was an end in the middle, it would have been something to think about, because then you would have had some giant version of Watchmen. But I just think that because there was no end in the middle, people would have walked out of that movie going like, what, I gotta wait another like year to see like the other episode or whatever it is. So anyway, so I guess my point is only that because it was almost the opposite. It's not deleted scenes. It's almost like the movie was done and then they were like, make it shorter. So the actual, this version, the director's cut of the movie is the movie. And the theatrical version is like the
appetizer.
Yeah. And it's also kind of like the, you know, I think a lot of times when you see a director's cut, they've added back what I would say is deleted scenes, you know, like scenes that kind of maybe they work, maybe they don't work, for whatever reason. But I really feel like this is and then they reconstruct the movie, where I feel like the movie that was reconstructed was the theatrical version, because we had to like take the movie apart and make it work in a shorter way. So it's kind of, I guess when I see the director's cut, I always just feel like that's the movie. I don't even, when I see the theatrical version, I'm always like, oh, right, we gotta cut that out. It's weird.
So will there be a print struck of the director's cut that might?
There was a print struck. Did you know they screened it last weekend?
And that was off of print.
One theater was off for print, and 2 were D-Cinema. So we finished a D-Cinema version and a print version of the movie, which was crazy, but fun. I mean, I think it played like once a day all weekend. I don't know how many times they played it, maybe twice, but it was, it's kind of fun.
Is it gonna be released any wider than that?
I don't think so. I think maybe it's a revival theater. Someone can snatch up their print of the director's cut.
And
The
your-
4 prints that probably exist. That's worth some money, maybe.
And your
If you're a
plan
dork.
is, that would be us.
Yeah, right.
And your plan is to release the Super Deluxe Extended with the Black Freighter.
Yeah, and I think that, for me, and even like, people are like, well, isn't that the director's cut? And I'm like, well, the whole idea of intercutting the Black Freighter into the movie happened after the movie was sort of conceived. And so for me, even though I was happy to shoot it and I put it together, I still feel like it's experimental in some ways. It's awesome.
Mhm.
Don't get me wrong. It's like a whole other experience. I mean, if you are looking for like a sort of complete Watchmen experience, there's nothing like it. I think it's just outrageous. But it's still it's still like half of the movie's animated now. It's just it's cool.
With what you've done with the visuals in the movie, did you ever consider doing 3D, or would you go back and add a 3D element? It would really work with what you've done.
It was funny because I did see a test. They showed me a test of 300 that they had converted to 3D, and it was pretty awesome. I gotta say, I was pretty like, wow. Did we shoot that way? Because it's pretty cool.
Was it the IMAX or was it just regular TV?
No, just regular. It was
35.
projected for me.
Okay.
And at the time, I said, well, this was like maybe 4 or 5 months ago. I said, well, are we just going to release this? Because I think people will go see it. And they were like, yeah, no, people don't do that. And I was like, okay, I'm just saying. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. They may try a conversion. It depends. It has a lot to do with how, on the big plasmas now, they all have 3D capability, even though people don't even realize it. But those TVs are built now for 3D. It's just in your TV.
Like
and
polarized 3D?
yeah, it's like I mean, you still got to wear glasses when you watch it, but it's the ability to separate all the channels and all that stuff. It's in the TVs now.
The stereo.
If you look at those little the little squares on when you buy it, the sticker you pull off. One of them, which doesn't say anything about 3D, it's like another 3-letter thing, like RLMG or whatever, some ridiculous thing that you're like, what is that? My TV does that too? That's knowing that it's going to want to do 3D in a couple of years. So they're working on that. So they may. It's just like, colorizing a movie. They're going to just start to do that. You're going to have like, My Dinner with Andre in 3D soon.
Would you love to see it though? Would you
This?
welcome that?
Sure. Why not?
Because usually they like to have the director involved at some point. So
Yeah, I
that's
mean,
just a question of-
we're doing Guardians in 3D. That's, and I'm not currently doing Sucker Punch in 3D just because it's so crazy. It's such a crazy action movie that I don't know how we would shoot it in 3D. I couldn't get the 3D cameras, where I need them to be. It's just like we are on the edge right now with the technology, just to get everything shot because it's so out there.
What's happening with Sucker Punch?
And we're not shooting yet. We shoot start shooting September 10th. So I'm up in Vancouver. We just flew down yesterday.
Oh.
So we're prepping in Vancouver, and the girls are training, and it's we're full on, every day. all
Vanessa
day.
Hudgens going to be naked in it?
Not naked. I love that. I saw that on the internet, and I was like, really? That's news to me. No, but she is going to kick some butt in the movie. I will tell you that.